Hello everybody, Fantasy Sports Daily back at it with yet another video. If you remember, I made a tier ranking on the best wide receivers in fantasy football. Well, today I'm going to be ranking the best quarterbacks in fantasy football. You know the drill. S tier is the special / superior quarterbacks that you always want to start unless they get injured or they have a bye week. A tier, they're very good quarterbacks. You want to start them. B tier, they are above average quarterbacks that you would kind of want to have on your bench, but you'd feel comfortable starting them. C tier, they're average quarterbacks, they're streaming options. D tier, they're better streaming options than them. They're below average. And F tier, you don't want to start them because they are hot trash. And then you have this can't rank row that I made for quarterbacks you can't rank. So let's begin. Bryce Young, F tier, only because he's in Carolina. He was given a tough task to turn around a struggling Panthers offense, and he has not done that. He has a losing record, and he's not good for fantasy purposes, and that's why he's an F tier. But he has all the talent in the world. He has things to learn like any other quarterback. And yeah, I expect him to be good in the future, but I just wish that Bryce Young was with a better offense so I could see how good he would actually do with a better offense. Because with a bad offense, they have Thielen, they picked up Sanders, they have some good players, but the Panthers are not doing well this year. They are struggling. And that's why, for fantasy purposes, Bryce Young is an F tier. CJ Stroud, A tier. I put him at S tier. My bad, A tier. CJ Stroud is an A tier for this reason. He's the QB7. He had a huge week 9, and therefore he's an A tier. Just kidding. CJ Stroud was good with Ohio State. He was good. He's now good with the Texans. The Texans are a pretty good offense because he's under center. It didn't work with Davis Mills under center. It didn't work with Kyle Allen under center. It works with CJ Stroud under center. Last year in 2022, Dameon Pierce was the Texans' best player. This year, CJ Stroud is slinging the rock, and he's seeing positive results. He's the QB7. A tier, start him with confidence. If you have a better quarterback, keep him on your bench, but if he has a good matchup, start him with confidence. Can't stress that enough. Jordan Love, D tier. I am tired of this Packers offense. Honestly, I'm so tired of this Packers offense. There are better streaming options than Jordan Love. This Packers offense has kind of been struggling. Aaron Jones has missed a lot of time, of course. Christian Watson, I think, is now questionable with a concussion, a back issue, and a chest issue, I think. Three things. I don't know if he'll be available for Week 10. But regardless, the Packers offense is just not working right now. And that's why I say that Jordan Love is a below average streaming option and there are better options than him. Who is this guy? Let me see. Who is this guy? Search images with Google. Who is this guy? I don't even know his name. Who is he? Who is he? Who is this guy? See if I see more. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Who is this guy? Kyle Trask? Who? Who is this guy? Can't rank him. Kyle Trask. He does not play for, he's not a starting quarterback for any NFL team right now. So can't rank him. Don't know enough about him. S tier though. I can rank him. Josh Allen is an S tier. He's 6'5". He plays the game. I don't want to see fruit juice. I want to see Josh Allen. He's 6'5". He plays the game very well. He is a very good runner. He can throw the rock too. Amazing at the game. Tua Tagovailoa. He is a straight up A tier. He's a French QB1. maybe even better than a future French QB1. He has a great offense lining up next to him with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and behind him as well with Raheem Mostert and Devon Achane when he comes back from the IR. Tua Tagovailoa, a solid option. If there's a better quarterback like Josh Allen or any of the other quarterbacks listed above, then start him over Tua. But if you have no other option but Tua, start him. Unless it's his bye, which is week 10. It's this week. Stafford. Matthew Stafford. I can rank Stafford. He's a D tier. He's injured right now. He wasn't a borderline S tier with the Rams. I have no idea what happened to that Rams offense. That Rams offense is struggling right now. In 2022, they were struggling. More so in 2023. I thought they were past the rebuilding stage the first couple games. Man, was I wrong. I made a whole video about it, but Cooper Kupp has not been doing well. Puka Nacua also has been struggling too. The whole Rams offense has been struggling. And there are better streaming options than Matthew Stafford. Even when he is healthy, he's a D tier. He's below average. Will Levis, he's also D tier. He falls in that same category. He's a streaming option. We only saw two samples of Will Levis in the NFL so far. He had a pretty good. He's a pretty good quarterback. He had a pretty good week 8, week 9. He was also pretty good. He didn't really throw for a touchdown or score a touchdown himself, but he's a pretty good quarterback. He's right now below average. I can only rank him below average. He might move up to C tier in the future though, or maybe even a B or A tier. We'll see where Will Levis will take us. Daniel Jones, can't rank him. If this was week 8, if I made this video week 8, I could rank Daniel Jones. I would consider him a D or an F tier right now. But if this is week 9, and now we can confirm that Daniel Jones is going to miss the remainder of the season because of an ACL tear, can't rank him. He's injured. Baker Mayfield, C tier. He is a very solid streaming option. C tier Baker Mayfield. Jimmy Garoppolo, F tier. Even with the Raiders, he's not good for fantasy purposes. F tier. Russell Wilson, D tier. He did pretty well against the Chiefs, which actually surprised me, but Russell Wilson is pretty much washed up. He's not the best for fantasy purposes. Let's just say that. D tier. Lamar Jackson, A tier. And he would be S tier if this was a couple years ago. Lamar Jackson was the best quarterback in the league. And now Lamar Jackson, I have no idea what's up with him. But for fantasy purposes, he's either upside or bust. He was kind of not so great last year because he didn't really have any really good wide receivers to throw to. This year he has a couple wide receivers to throw to in Zay Flowers. OBJ, I think, is kind of a risky play because he's injury prone and he's not as good as he was. Lamar Jackson's A tier, but he used to be S tier. He's a solid A. Can't rank this guy. He was pretty good though. Kirk Cousins tore his Achilles, I think this week. Or it was either this week or week 8. Kirk Cousins tore his Achilles. And no, it was week 8 because this week Joshua Dobbs played, and Kirk Cousins tore his Achilles, so he cannot be ranked. He's on the IR for the rest of the season. He will not play for the Vikings, which is sad. It is a sad story. Kirk Cousins. Brock Purdy. He's our first B tier. Yeah, you're not gonna really get too much upside with Brock Purdy, but I'd feel comfortable starting him if my QB had a bye. Brock Purdy's pretty good. He kind of had a small rough patch of games versus the Bengals, and then yeah, Brock Purdy in that 49ers offense was struggling for a little bit, but I would still consider Brock Purdy a B tier quarterback. He's not elite. Mac Jones, F tier. That Patriots offense is not doing good. He's an F tier. He's not even startable at this point. They were thinking about bringing in Bailey Zappi, or Zap, or whatever his name is. I think it's Zappi. Bailey Zappi, F tier, not startable. Sam Howell, C tier. He's a fairly solid streaming option. And I can't say he's a B tier because I don't think I would want him on my bench. I think Brock Purdy's still better than Sam Howell. Jalen Hurts. He's not as good as he was last year, but he's still an S tier. Jalen Hurts is an amazing quarterback. He's like Josh Allen. He can run. He's big. He can throw the rock. He has a great offense lining up next to him and behind him. Amazing player. Derek Carr. Straight up garbage. F tier? Yeah, because he's F tier. Because I don't think he's good for fantasy purposes because you also have Taysom Hill in the mix with him taking some of the snaps. I don't know how many snaps Taysom Hill takes a game, but you also have Taysom Hill taking the snaps, and Derek Carr. He hasn't been good for a couple fantasy seasons now, and yeah, Derek Carr is just not it. Kyler Murray, I really haven't seen him play, and there might be a chance that he plays week 10, so therefore I'm ranking him a C. But if he's ruled out, I can't rank him because he hasn't really played this season. But overall, Kyler Murray, he's very fast. He's a scrambler. He went down with an ACL tear in 2022. That's why he missed a couple games this season. For 9 weeks. By couple games, I mean 9 weeks this season. Yeah, he's a pretty solid quarterback. He's with the streaming options right now. He's sort of kind of like a streaming option. But he's honestly a C+. He's better than Baker Mayfield. He's better than Sam Howell. He's a C+. Either C+ or B-. Of course, you have a struggling Cardinals offense that factors into Kyler Murray's grade. But, we'll move on. Tannehill, F tier. Not a great quarterback whatsoever. Will Levis is probably better at this point than Ryan Tannehill. He's injured anyhow. I don't know if it's a season-ending injury. So if it's let me look if it's season-ending. Because if it's season-ending, I can't rake him. Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill. He's questionable. So it doesn't look like he is injured, but Coach Mike Vrabel, I can't pronounce his name, announced Tuesday that Tannehill will be the Titans' backup quarterback behind Will Levis moving forward. So Will Levis got the nod. Tannehill's an F tier. He hasn't been doing good. He was kind of one of the reasons why DeAndre Hopkins was kind of nerfed when he went to the Titans. And yeah, he's an F tier. He's not. He's a good receiver. He's pretty fast, but throwing wise, I don't think he's not really that great for fantasy purposes. He's an F tier. Dak Prescott, B tier. He's like a Brock Purdy quarterback. He's a pretty fairly decent quarterback. He didn't have a great season last year. He obviously broke his thumb last year. He missed 5 games. Cooper Rush did very good in backing him up. Dak Prescott, I mean, it's debatable for how good he is as a quarterback, but I think for fantasy purposes, he's pretty decent. He's fairly inconsistent too, but I would feel comfortable starting him for at least 1 week if I had to. Deshaun Watson, right now he's a C+ right now. Deshaun Watson has like a shoulder issue right now that's going on. It's like a lingering shoulder issue with him, and he's been out for a while. And the Browns offense, could be good with Deshaun Watson, and if Chubb stayed healthy, he would. I think that offense would have been better, and Deshaun Watson may have been a B tier. But with that being said, Chubb's not healthy, and he'll miss probably a good chunk of 2024. Chubb and Deshaun Watson is a C tier. Joe Burrow, strong, and I mean strong A tier, debatably S tier. Debatably S tier. I think there are 4 quarterbacks that are S tier. Scrambling ability, not there like Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. He can throw the you know what? I'll move it down to A tier. But no, actually, man, that's tough. The Bengals win games. They struggle early in the season and then they win games. And Joe Burrow looks like a good quarterback. He kind of had some calf issues, but he's kind of moved past that. He's playing fairly well with a Bengals offense. Monitor Joe Burrow's status in the week 10. I think they had their bye away. Yeah, they already had their bye. So monitor Joe Burrow's status into week 10 because I think he had a finger injury and check that calf, but I think he should be good to go. Trey Lance, can't rake him. I think this is Trey Lance. Let me see. Yeah, I think this is Trey Lance. I don't think I really need to see who this is, but let me just make sure this is Trey Lance because I don't really recognize his face. Let's see. Who is this? Who is this guy? Anyhow, I have a pretty good idea. I think it's Trey Lance. Can't rank him. Justin Herbert, he's an A-tier quarterback. Just joking. He's a B-tier quarterback. Yeah, he's an A-tier quarterback. You would want to start him, but he's kind of been inconsistent. He does find his targets. He does find Keenan Allen, but with the injured Chargers offense right now, it's hard to trust people like hard to trust quarterbacks like Herbert. He is a person, but it's hard to trust quarterbacks like Herbert, especially with Palmer and Mike Williams is hurt, and the Chargers offense is basically struggling to stay healthy like they were last year. Keenan Allen has stayed healthy for now, but he is an A tier, but he's kind of on that B. He's kind of an A minus. He's kind of borderline B tier. Desmond Ridder, he has been replaced. He's an F tier. And if he does get replaced, should I just put backups as can't rank? You know what? I'll just grant him based on the performance. He did not do well with the Falcons at all. He's an F tier. Jared Goff, he is a straight up C tier. Jared Goff he's actually a C plus. He's with Murray. He's with Deshaun Watson, and he's a C plus. He could be really good, Jared Goff, especially with that Detroit Lions offense. Is really good. The running back game is struggling to stay healthy just a little bit, but Jared Goff can be really good. People say that he's washed. I think people are making quick judgments when it comes to that, and I think that Jared Goff has a good offense behind him. He can produce in fantasy. Aaron Rodgers, unfortunately, as it stands right now, can't rank him. You can't. The only reason why you can't rank Aaron Rodgers is because if you don't know, he tore his ACL. He tore his Achilles 4 plays into week 1. The first drive of the game, he tore his Achilles, and he wants to be on the field sometime this season. That's what he's aiming for, but we don't know how that's really going to go. As of now, I think Rodgers is walking without crutches, so that's good, but I don't know how that's going to go. He's on the IR right now. I can't really rank him. In 2022, he was an okay backup option. He was like a C tier, D tier, but Aaron Rodgers really can't rank him. Kenny Pickett, F tier. I was about to say P tier, but he's an F tier. Kenny Pickett needs some work, and that whole Steelers offense needs some work too. Deontay Johnson has been amazing coming back from the IR, but that whole Steelers offense is in shambles. And I hate to say it, they're just in shambles. They're not amazing. Kenny Pickett. People thought that Kenny Pickett was going to break out in 2022 because it was like, oh, this is the second year, you know. There are a lot of quarterbacks that break out in the second year. Yeah, no. Kenny Pickett has a lot of talent, but he has not been doing well. Especially throwing the ball, he's had a lot of troubles. This guy, he's my favorite player in the league, and he's an S tier. A little bit of bias added to it, but hey, you know, I'm a Chiefs fan. You know, he did struggle in Week 8 versus the Broncos, but we don't talk about that. Patrick Mahomes, he can scramble. He's not as good at scrambling as these two, Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. Better than Joe Burrow. He can throw the ball. He has a bazooka. They have the lab, and they create their own plays that work. He's a magician. He's very creative. He's an S tier. He's a wizard on the field. Geno Smith. Last year, S tier. No, sorry. Last year, A tier. This year, F tier. From A to F. What happened? Maybe it's him getting old? Don't know. The people that said that Geno Smith would not be good to start the season? Yeah, you're right. Geno Smith is not good to start the season. He got blown out of the water in Week 9. Unless he turns it around quickly, I don't see Geno Smith ending well. Or he's not going to do very well. Justin Fields. Justin Fields he needs some work with throwing the football. I got to admit that Chicago offense is bringing him down, but he's a B tier. He's borderline startable. I actually would put him at A-. But right now, he's injured. He has a thumb injury. He dislocated his thumb. I think he should be fine for Week 10. I think he should be good to go next time he plays. But I'm honestly debating A- or just keep him there, because if there's a defense that doesn't figure out his rushing game and they catch the defense off guard, that's a lot of points if he scores a touchdown, a rushing touchdown. Just saying, keep Justin Fields there. He did really good in 2022. He had a good second half. Jacoby Brissett. Can't rank him. Anthony Richardson. A tier. Borderline S tier. Very good. Very good at the running game. Really good at moving the chains. He has that special connection with Michael Pittman. Pittman has been a better receiver than he was. He looks like he's a better receiver than he was in 2022. And yeah. Anthony Richardson is pretty good. Trevor Lawrence, finally, B-. Trevor Lawrence was really good last year. It's looking like Trevor Lawrence is borderline C plus, B-. He's borderline C tier. A lot of people are starting to drop Trevor Lawrence. I wouldn't agree with that. I just say wait it out. He has that special connection with Christian Kirk. Two Kirks. Forgive me. You have you also have Calvin Ridley and some other Jags receivers, Agnew, and you also have Travis Etienne in that run game. That Jags offense is not half bad. I have no idea what's going on with him right now. So Trevor Lawrence is a B tier. You would want to at least have him on your bench. He should be rostered. And that will do it for the QB ranking. This is the final ranking. I have Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, and Patrick Mahomes as S tier. CJ Stroud, Tua Tagovailoa, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, Justin Fields, and Anthony Richardson at A tier. Actually, you know what? I just realized I cannot rank Anthony Richardson because he had a season-ending shoulder injury. He cannot be ranked, but he is A tier when if he comes back in 2024, he'll be A tier. Can't be ranked for now though. But A tier, you have CJ Stroud, Tua, Lamar, Herbert, Fields. B tier, Purdy, Dak Prescott, and Trevor Lawrence. C tier, you have Kyler Murray, Jared Goff. Jared Goff is honestly better than Kyler Murray at this point. Jared Goff, Kyler Murray, and Deshaun Watson, Baker Mayfield, and Sam Howell as streaming options. That seems fine. Jordan Love, Matthew Stafford, Will Levis, Russell Wilson at D tier. And F tier, you have Bryce Young, Jimmy Garoppolo, Mac Jones, Derek Carr, Tannehill, who just got replaced, Ritter, who just got replaced, Pickett, who is struggling right now, and Geno Smith, who's struggling right now. And I don't even know this guy, but, I don't know. He hasn't really played a game. Daniel Jones, he would be a D or F tier, but he kind of got injured. Kirk Cousins got injured. He would be a B tier, or he would be someone that you would at least want to have rostered on your roster. He should be rostered, is what I'm trying to say. Kirk Cousins is pretty good, but he tore his Achilles in Week 8. Joshua Dobbs backed him up. He looked really good. Trey Lance, I don't even think he played, but he went high in the draft. You have Aaron Rodgers, who tore his Achilles, so I can't really say anything too much about him, but in 2022, he was pretty average of a quarterback. He almost made the playoffs. Jacoby Brissett, he's not the best. He's a D tier, maybe an F tier. And then Anthony Richardson, as you can see, I almost made a mistake of ranking him A tier because he's that good of a quarterback, but he had a grade 3 AC joint sprain or whatever, so he cannot be ranked. And that's it. I think this list looks pretty good. Tell me what you think in the comments section. Like and subscribe for more videos, for more fantasy content. And I'll see you in the next one. Share this video with your family and friends.